Hello, YouTube divers. This is WaterDive122, and I want to welcome you all back to another episode of Bands of the Alphabet. This time, we are going to be taking a look at my favorite band that starts with the letter G. Oh boy, this one is going to be a fun one, as I said in the previous Bands of the Alphabet video. Because there are a lot of great bands for me to choose from, but my favorite band that starts with the letter G was obviously a no-brainer for me because I had this band in my top 10 favorite bands of all time, and they're still one of my top 10 favorite bands of all time. That is the band Green Day. Green Day is, for a lot of people, one of the most important bands in the world, and they're one of the biggest bands in the world, for that matter. They bring back a lot of nostalgia for a lot of their fans. I obviously was not born or alive when their big albums were out, like American Idiot or Dookie. But overall, looking back on it now, Green Day has put out some absolutely killer albums. And my favorite album from them is American Idiot from 2004. American Idiot is an absolute masterpiece of a record. It's one of my favorite concept albums of all time. It's probably my second favorite concept album. I might make another video on that on Magic Metal Mondays someday. I don't know. American Idiot, in of its own self, is just an absolutely killer album. And when it came to my favorite song from Green Day, that was a little bit tough for me to choose from since Green Day has a crap ton of phenomenal songs. But I decided to go with the title cut opener of American Idiot. Song that got me into Green Day, and I've loved it pretty much ever since I heard it. And the frickin' music video is sick. And the lineup on this record is absolutely phenomenal. You have Billie Joe Armstrong on lead vocals and guitar. You have Mike Dirnt on bass. I hope I said that right. And Tré Cool, the Tré Cool, on drums. Yeah, this is a freaking amazing power trio. Amazing musicianship on this record. In my opinion, the musicianship on American Idiot is far better than any other record when it comes to levels of musicianship. Basically, the band is locked and loaded, and to do this after original tapes of the album were after original tapes from a different album name that they were going with, Cigarettes and Valentines, was stolen, to have them recreate a whole album in this short manner of time is just absolutely amazing. And what more can I say? This band did an amazing job. American Idiot and they put out American Idiot, which is undoubtedly their masterpiece for me. A lot of people may argue that their masterpiece is Dookie or Insomniac. I can definitely see why. They're also amazing albums. But I personally prefer American Idiot. A lot of Green Day fans would probably agree with me on that. And eventually I will make a video on Green Day's album rankings on Magic Metal Mondays. So I will talk a little bit more about their albums there. But in of its own self, Green Day created American Idiot on both the album and the song. They have three amazing musicians playing the music. And yeah, that's why they deserve a solid 10 out of 10 for me. Absolutely amazing band. And they're one of my favorite bands of all time. So, there you go. Now let's get into the honorable mentions, shall we? So the first honorable mention is Ghost. The band Ghost. From Sweden, aka Ghost BC. As they were near the start of their career. I will always love Ghost simply because they created Cerise, the song, and also because they created Meliora, which is an absolutely freaking amazing record. And it also has Cerise on it, so there you go. So if you want to know a little bit more about Ghost, like their music, I did a guitar cover of theirs on Cerise, so you can check that one out if you want to. But overall, Ghost is an amazing band, and they're highly underrated too. Whether you classify them as rock, metal, or pop, or heavy pop, or heck, even heavy disco, they're still a freaking amazing band, and I highly recommend that you check them out because Ghost is a freaking amazing band. Moving on, we got Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses was actually supposed to be my first honorable mention, but then at the last minute I changed it to Ghost. Mainly because I like Ghost more than Guns N' Roses. I know a lot of people would not agree with me on that there. But overall, Guns N' Roses, I will always have a high opinion about them, mainly because they created Appetite for Destruction, which, of course, is one of the greatest debut albums of all time. And it also has my favorite Guns N' Roses song, which is, of course, Sweet Child of Mine. But I also like the Use Your Illusion series, especially the first counterpart where they created November Rain, which a lot of Guns N' Roses fans adore. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Guns N' Roses, but I do like that song a lot, mainly because of Slash's amazing guitar solo. And then finally, we have a band from Germany, another power metal band from Germany, which is Gamma Ray, aka Kai Hansen's band. Now, you would all know Kai Hansen, mainly for his work that he did with Helloween, and he's back with Helloween now. Michael Kiske from Helloween even did some stuff with Gamma Ray. I will have to check that out. But Kai Hansen was mainly the lead singer for Gamma Ray, like, from their third album onwards, I think. And in my opinion, it's with Gamma Ray's stuff that, in my opinion, Hansen really shines on. If you remember from my Helloween album rankings, I placed Walls of Jericho a little bit lower on the list, like at number 7. That was mainly because of Kai Hansen's vocals. I didn't really enjoy the vocals that he had. That Kai Hansen had to offer on Walls of Jericho. But on Gamma Ray, especially on songs like Last Before the Storm, which is by far my favorite Gamma Ray song, he absolutely just smokes it. And he's probably one of the reasons why I like Gamma Ray. Of course, I will check out the stuff that they did with Michael Kiske, because when it comes to Kiske, I'm always into it. So yeah, Gamma Ray takes my third honorable mention. So yeah, with that said, that concludes this episode of Bands of the Alphabet. And tomorrow, I will be going over my favorite band that starts with the letter H. That is going to be a fun one. So stay in tune for that. And with that said, thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. This is WaterEye122 signing out, ready to dive into more fun on YouTube. Thank you for watching.